Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Tonight, we're setting sail for New England's rugged coast, an island steeped in history, tragedy, and ghost stories. Newcastle, New Hampshire. It's on the New England and New Hampshire, depending on where you live. A little town that may be peaceful by the water, but beneath the charm of these colonial homes and lighthouses lies a darker legacy. Witches, soldiers, and drowned sailors all linger here, and their stories still echo across the waves. Let me put some waves right here. Some seagulls.
Like a little surfer.
Let's get into it. Welcome back to the Paranormal Dudes podcast, episode 62. This is a special week because we're releasing 2 episodes this week. Hasn't really happened, I don't think, ever in the history of the show. We're going to do it twice in 1 week, like a menage a trois or a... You saw our last episode. We interviewed the illustrious author, J.D. Barker. He has quite a resume with all of his novels. It was a great interview. A little bit different for our show, to say the least, because if you do want to go back and if you're watching this show and you missed the last one, or this is your first time on our channel, you go ahead and watch that up here, up top. Go ahead and click on that if you want to go watch. But what I'm trying to say is it was a little different for us because we wanted to really gauge him, and we had a little bit of tugging at the heartstrings, and you could possibly relate to those. If you know anybody that's on the spectrum, or if you are, it's something that was very important to that specific episode, aside from all the spooky stuff as well. Me and Jesse had a wonderful time interviewing him. And as you know, what we do at the beginning of every show, we talk about what's happened to us paranormal since the last time we spoke. Now, me and Jesse, we just saw each other earlier today, but we didn't discuss any of that. Things did happen to me. I don't know if you saw our story on Instagram. I'll go first. Completely crazy. If you missed our story on Instagram, this is what happened. All the lights are off. It's generally how I like my house. All lights off. I don't like lights. I get migraines, so that's just how my house is. I am walking towards my bedroom, and my daughter's room is to, if you're in the room, is to the left, and if you're walking towards the bedroom, is to the right. And through the door and the bottom of the door, I was able to see that there was light, like if someone was in there. And I thought my daughter was in there. I was going to go in there and say hi and ask her what she was doing. I opened the door. As soon as I opened the door, the light turns off. And I thought it was my daughter still, because she does kooky stuff like that anyway. And that wasn't the case. I opened the door and walked in. No one's in there. Turned to the right. Nothing at all. Totally freaked me out. I went back out, closed the door. My daughter was in my room on my bed, which made it even worse. And then I documented it, and I told everybody here what had happened. Well, I mean, the reality of it is, there was no one to tell. It was just me and my daughter that were witnessing this. What am I going to tell Owie? She's going to be like, okay, like, let me play my Pokemon.
Like, what did you
This
do?
doesn't.
Did you just like go to your room and turn the
Yeah,
lights
and then
on?
I filmed the story, which if I can, it'll be here. And then I told you guys about it,
Mm-hmm.
or I was talking to you guys about it, and a bunch of people replied, and they were just like, "Oh hell no, fuck no,"
So what
on
did you do
Instagram.
after that? Like, did you feel like uneasy? Did you not sleep?
Well, I have insomnia, so I don't sleep
Mm-hmm.
anyway, and nothing weird happened after that. So it was just business as usual. It's just something spooky happened real quick before I went to bed, which is a common occurrence. It's it's not sad to say. It's just something that's normal to me. Like usually something weird with that like that will happen, or
The little kid in your house, yeah.
I was gonna say that. Yeah,
yeah,
little boy.
yeah, probably was. He was like, you know what, your daughter's never in here, so I'm gonna start playing with her toys and shit. But yeah, that's what happened to me. Did anything in particular happen to any of you? Now, we all know
Uh,
the things Buddy's been going through,
yes.
and I'm sure you guys saw in the last episode. If you haven't, we have a short on it that's kind of blowing up. But you know what? It was blowing up on TikTok. I want to see where it's at now as we're recording. There's a guy. I don't know if you saw the comment, Buddy. There was oh my gosh,
1900.
we have 50 notifications on that post just right now. It's got 124 likes, dude. I know it may not seem like a lot to a lot of you, but to us it is.
Mm-hmm.
One of the comments, there's a guy that says, "Here you go, twin." It's Eminem throwing a cross at us. He's talking to you, buddy. That's what he's trying.
Who is
I
it?
don't
Do we
know.
know who he is?
Slim Shady.
No, it's just some random guy. It's just some random
Oh,
dude.
okay. I was thinking like, here you go, twin. I'm thinking, who looks like me?
He has a weird name too.
Yeah, he does. So we kind of know what Buddy's been going through, and he's kind of still going through. Have you experienced anything? Because you said you experienced stuff at night. Are you still experiencing stuff at night?
No, it's been pretty calm lately.
Oh, that's good. Okay.
Yeah, we actually, well, what, and I say calm just because I haven't noticed it. I've slept through the night, kind of. But we've been having a lot of weather down here. Yesterday, the Imperial Valley suffered like somewhat of a tornado,
Oh,
Oh.
wow.
Really bad.
and today we got hit with thunderstorms that like literally flooded out roads and washed away cars and stuff like that.
Wow.
So it was pretty interesting last couple of days, and I want to say the last 3 days or so the weather's been real windy, making a lot of noise of the house. So it's just like you hear all this like shaking of the house and stuff. But my animals have been calm. I've felt calm. Uh, my daughters haven't mentioned anything that they've heard or seen anything. So
That's
I mean,
good.
for us, it's been pretty relaxed. Yeah.
That's good then. That's great. So we won't go into aggressive detail, but the things you've done, they helped.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
Said
Jesse,
heal.
he didn't want to get into excruciating detail, and I did it.
Okay. I'm not gonna say the sacred rituals, the things that were sacrificed, the animals, the cows and
It
the
was
chickens.
only 2 hamsters and a chicken.
2 hamsters, a goat. Okay. What about Oscar and Jess? Anything for you guys?
Nothing for me, but I did watch the 3 Conjuring movies because
Oh.
of Buddy's reviews.
Because of
And I
Buddy's
was
show.
like,
Okay.
I felt like I was watching them all over again, right? So I don't know if I was just, when you watch something, I don't know if you guys feel like this, but I just start to make things up in my head. So like I was just very conscious of everything. Like I'm watching
I
this
think
in
they would
my
have creeped you out.
yeah, and I think just like watching it in my home kind of gave me like a little bit of that like. But I'm like, no, they solved it at the end. Don't worry, like it's not gonna happen. It's over, you know. But it was just like that, you know. That's all I experienced. Self-induced fear, I guess.
So what you're saying is if an ending to a horror flick has an open ending or something negative happens opposed to having a happy ending, it has a negative effect on you? Is
Yeah, I
that what
start
you're
thinking
saying?
like
I
for
mean, technically, it's not solved, right?
yeah,
It's just,
Yeah.
it's like when
I
Paranormal
mean,
Activity came out. I was like, dude, they have the same doors I have. Like,
oh my god.
Dude,
shoot.
my walls are white, just like theirs.
They have doors and hallways and
Or like
stairs
stuff
like me.
happens like June 19, 1914. I'm like, why on my birthday, bro? Like, you know, like stuff like that. But
I get it.
yeah.
It's like an irrational fear, I think.
Mhm.
That's how I felt watching Independence Day when they came through the Imperial Valley, and it's like July 3rd, and I'm like, that's my birthday. That's where I live. Oh my god.
If you've seen, okay, coincidence? Probably not. If you're a mainstay of the show or you're new here, the majority of us outside of Oscar, but I feel like Oscar grew up there with us because he's heard all of our stories.
Yeah.
Me, Buddy, and Jesse grew up in a very small town called Calexico, California, and not much to do out there. There's just fields everywhere. There's haystacks and cows and ranches
Dirt.
and such, and dirt everywhere. But one thing that we held on to for a very long time was that they filmed a portion of ID4 or Independence Day, you know, the one with Will Smith and Jeff Goldblum. There was a portion of that movie they filmed in the Imperial Valley. All of us were proud about that, okay? It was not very long. It was maybe for like 10 minutes.
I
at
filmed like a
most.
lot of movies there, though.
But
I
this
feel
is
like
one that this was like, the other ones don't count. This is Independence Day, okay?
That's
This
when
is
cholos were
What about
like, "A
what
la
about Star
vez,
Wars?
washa, takalisto."
What's up?
Washa, de la casa de tu nana.
What'd you say, buddy? What?
The Star Wars films were filmed down here too.
Yeah, some of
A
them
lot
were.
of the Bamba, that
Yeah,
one with
La
what's her
Bamba.
face.
Richie.
You can really tell that all of us know a lot about it. Jesse's like, that one with that one lady.
Oh yeah, the lady.
So random.
Molly Ringwald,
The woman in the yard.
That's her name.
Oh, okay.
the woman in the yard. It looks like it could have been filmed there, right?
So I mean that's pretty much we're proud of these moments in our very small town. But yeah, moving on. Jesse, anything happened to you? Of course, probably.
Oh my god! Don't ask me. I'm just gonna say yes.
I'm gonna ask you.
I'm
It's
just gonna
part of
say
the show.
yes.
People like the personal stories.
Actually, yes. So I had company over this weekend, and I don't know if it's I don't want to say it's something that was with them because I feel like it wasn't there before, and it wasn't necessarily bad, but it was just a presence that wasn't there before. But
Was it something that was attached to them? Like it didn't stay at your house, but
it was not attached to them. I don't know. Maybe it was. It was just something that they brought, and it was
kind of like the
Sergio.
Paranormal Dudes ghosts attacking Oscar.
Yes,
right now.
yes. He's like, get that chancla, get the chancla. But that's about it. I mean, it wasn't anything significant, but it was just something that I knew that didn't belong in my house because it wasn't here before.
Oh,
And then
it was just passing through kind of thing.
Well, once they left because they stayed for the weekend. Once they left, it was gone. I didn't feel it anymore.
Okay, that's fair.
But that's about it. Nothing crazy, just usual stuff.
I think Buddy's experiencing something.
Buddy's going through some shit right now.
I'm hearing voices, but I think it's my daughter talking in her sleep.
Oh no!
Yeah, but
Did we
it's
just
like
ruin the streak of it being okay in your house? Oh, Jesse, why are you rolling your eyes? We lost Buddy. He does like a jump scare.
Like his face, like one that scares you, Sergio, when they're in the woods.
Without further ado, we don't have a host today, or for this episode. We're kind of gonna tag team it, like some wrestling stuff. So diving into tonight's episode, we're gonna start off with the Wentworth by the Sea Hotel. Newcastle's most famous landmark is the Wentworth by the Sea Hotel, built in 1874. It's seen presidents, royalty, and high society, but also countless doors. There you go. There's countless doors there, Oscar. I'm sure you'll like that.
Oh no, Oscar, they have door.
Doors just like mine. But also countless ghost stories. Guests and staff alike whisper of shadowy figures roaming the halls, and mysterious woman in white, of course, in white, who gazes from the windows long after the hotel should be quiet. Now, with our interview with JD, he did say that we should try to visit this location and see if we uncover any paranormal activity. I would love to do that. I've had various conversations with people from our last episode where we constantly get ideas of, oh, you guys should talk about this, or I have a ghost story, but they never tell me what their ghost story is. So I don't know how we can feature it if they don't fucking tell me what the story is. But one of them was we should go out and do IRL content. We plan on doing that. We just have to figure out when and where we're going to do that. I personally would love to go to New Hampshire or New England. It all points to the same spot where we can investigate here. Obviously, I would love to try to get Ethan for these special episodes for in real life content on ghost investigations, because he's a little more versed in all of that because he has EVPs and ghost boxes, and he's done a lot of that already. And I'm green when it comes to all of that. I'm there just to crack a joke here and there and be scared. That's all I'm there for. It's kind of what I do on the podcast. But so, question for you guys. Is it just me, or does it feel almost like a story? Or it kind of ties in with JD and his books and where he gathered a lot of his inspiration. But do you guys feel like when you close your eyes and what I outlined for you guys as far as the famous landmark, does it feel like it's almost like you're there, but there's a low mist there, and the hotel's off in the distance? And does it feel like there's definitely ghosts in that Sea Hotel? And I'm not talking about like Jack Sparrow or the ghost of Jack Sparrow or anything like that.
As long as you don't do the voice of Jack Sparrow.
Yes. So what do you feel when I tell you guys that? Because we're going to get into a lot more details when it comes to Newcastle.
I definitely felt that. Like, even when he was kind of describing it, I could see, like, when he was saying, he's staying outside of the balcony and he could see the island and the house. And I definitely pictured all that stuff.
Oscar's like, I just don't like it that they have my door.
So I looked up what the hotel looks like, and it looks pretty sketchy. Like, just looking at it, like, you can, knowing that it was built in 1800s, like, that's already like a thing for me. Like, too much energy there, residual energy.
And it's like in a small community, and that's even, I don't know. And it's very like creepy to me when it's a small community. I don't know why.
We're from a small community, dummy.
No, but that's like really small.
Oh, like smaller than, okay.
Like, yes. Like 10 people.
Before any of you get offended by the way me and Jesse talk to each other, you need to understand we've known each other since we were like little kids, okay?
Like fifth grade.
Yes, we've been talking like this to each other forever, okay? Just
He's still stupid.
there's no ill will. Look, she just called me stupid, and there's nothing wrong with it.
The truth.
What about you, bud? What do you feel when you think of that?
I don't know, man. Small towns like that have always kind of freaked me out. I know we used to go, like in summer times, go spend time in not small villages, but like small towns like Calexico, or even smaller than that, you know. And they always kind of, I don't know. I guess everybody knows each other, and and it's just like this uncomfortable feeling sometimes,
You
kind
get
of
like
like
an eerie feeling, like
yeah,
somebody's
yeah,
like
like
someone has another agenda, right? Like
yeah, like
Oh, I
everybody
see.
knows you're the outsider, you know,
mhm.
and
Ah,
it's like
yeah, I see what you mean. I
you know,
see
it just
exactly what you mean.
I've never liked that feeling, and you know, thinking of this, like thinking over there in New England in this little village in this little home that he was talking about, I guess with you guys, I'm like, that's a scary situation, especially being like near the water and everything. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I don't know, I'd freak out.
I mean, there's a lot of ways that this place could be haunted. You know, you have the water surrounding it, and like I outlined, the witches and the death that's involved with this specific hotel. So it only makes sense, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, who knows how many bodies were thrown in that water?
Oh yeah, without a doubt. I mean, I'm sure it's insurmountable, and you can't. I'm sure that there's no count of it. I definitely could say that. But overall, the history of the hotel and its grand opening, it had famous guests, as you would think a place like this would. Of course, there's a reports of the woman in white, and stories of a little girl running in the corridors, giggling, then vanishing, that is terrifying to think. And so, obviously, paranormal investigators have visited this location. They experienced cold spots, EVP recordings, and you could honestly think of what they have experienced there. Uh, Another portion of it, which adds to its creepiness, is that kids' laughter or a woman staring silently from a window has been chronicled when it comes to this hotel. So that's very scary, to say the least. And this place is also connected to other hotels. Lo and behold, it's connected to Oscar's hotel um, that he just reviewed on his show. If you haven't seen his show, it's up top. It's his show that's called The Haunted Travel Agent, and he reviews the Stanley Hotel. A really good review and funny. The Cecil Hotel as well. There's a lot of hauntings and weird happenings and true crime that's happened at the Cecil Hotel. And I'm sure a lot of you, if you're into true crime or the paranormal, you're familiar with the Cecil Hotel. And it showed up. I think there was a doc on the Cecil Hotel on Netflix, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So next, what adds to the lore of Newcastle is there is a witch, specific witch, not witches, but the witch of Newcastle. Long before Salem became famous or infamous to some, New Hampshire had its own witch, which is Eunice Goody Cole of Newcastle. She was accused of witchcraft multiple times, imprisoned, and hated by her neighbors. When she died in 1680, the townspeople buried her with a stake through her heart. Fearing she would rise again, they say her spirit never forgave them.
Was no, I'd be angry. I'd never forgive anybody. I'd be haunting that thing forever.
Well, I mean, yeah, and I think we've had this discussion before where you witches are misunderstood. Yes, there's going to be evil witches or witches that have malicious intent, It totally depends on the user, I guess you could say, and what they're doing with their craft. But it's, I don't know, you guys can say if I'm wrong, but I think it's harmful to say that all witches are evil.
Witches are not evil. Yeah.
Right.
I
But
think
I think with
they're
this case too
misunderstood.
was, yeah.
Yeah,
But I
they are
think with this
misunderstood.
case too was just like with anything else that's ugly in the world, right? They're on a hunt for these witches. So regardless of what she's doing, they're gonna mess with her and torture
Right.
her and do whatever.
Yeah, I mean, because she went through multiple trials, she had multiple accusations, and obviously she was prosecuted, and unfortunately, they took her life. And I feel like we're still not there yet, where people understand witchcraft, and I feel like the vast majority of populace still views witchcraft as a negative thing. Yes, there could be negative outcomes that come from witchcraft if the user isn't careful. I would say seasoned, right? Jess, like, what do you
I
think
mean,
about?
it's like a way of living, I would say. It's not necessarily like, okay, I'm like Jesse, but I'm gonna, sit in the corner with a cauldron and practice this for, 10 minutes and then it's a whole way of being. So I
Yeah.
mean, just of experience of my sisters over what I've seen, right? So it's literally in everything that they do and everything that they say and everything that they live. So from what they believe in to how they would do something to their opinions on something, it's just a way of living.
So with that being said, I agree with you 100%. But with that being said, adding to it, do you growing up, you and your sisters, um, you used to be a practicing witch, not so much now, ever since you had the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Um, would anybody growing up, because of this stigma behind witches, would anybody, whether it was family, whether it was friends, acquaintances, or people you didn't even know, complete strangers, were they judgmental on you and your sisters, or would they tease you or anything like that?
We never got teased. I feel like it was, at least when I was growing up, at some point accepted because of the craft, the movie, right? Everybody was like wanted to do light as a feather, stiff as a board.
Right.
Um, but it wasn't until it was just something that we wouldn't really. It was just like, I don't know how to explain it. It was something that we did, that we knew it was there, but it wasn't. It was something that just close friends would experience, or things that we do. Like, we were um, with very close friends, like we do now. Like, well, my sister will pull out her tarot cards, or we'll do whatever
Yeah.
incantations or whatever. Um, or we do group manifestations, but it's not anything that we felt like we're going to do this in a public setting, or we didn't walk around with black dresses and black hats, so people were like, I didn't, they were like, I vienen las brujas, but it was for another reason, right? Because it's just how
Right.
they would,
Right.
we just had a
Kind of
strong
like the
connection.
cliche get up for a witch.
Right.
That's not really how it is. Yeah, for
Right.
sure.
It was just known within our close friends and family.
Makes sense. Makes sense. So you would say that you guys were more tight lipped when it came to all of the details for all of that, right?
We were not necessarily tight-lipped. I mean, we weren't ashamed of it. So if somebody were to be like, "Oh, what's happening?" Like, I can remember being in the car with my mom and my tia, and they were freaking burying shit in the cemetery, and all the kids are just sitting in a fucking van, like listening to Q96. And so it's
Oh,
not
damn.
something that, like, you know,
Rip Q96, by the way.
I
Like, she
know.
hasn't existed in years.
But it's if someone were to ask, we would say, this is what we do, this is our opinion, or if you need help with something, that that's fine. But it's not something that would be like, hey, we're witches, let's, it's something like that.
Oh
But
yeah, for sure. Um, so to go off of that, Oscar, do you know? I don't think I've ever asked you this question. Do you know of anyone in your family or someone that you're, aside from Jesse, because I'd like to believe you guys are friends now.
Yeah.
Do you know Do you know of anybody else that is a witch?
Not people that like know what they're doing, just
Oh, I
like
see. I
people
see.
that experience things, and they know people that like do limpias and stuff like. But I've never, me myself, like met somebody directly that is a witch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that makes total sense. I mean, obviously, for me, it's Jesse. Um, and I have countless experiences of people that I know of in my family or friends that have experienced. But there's going to be one story I'm going to say that I'm not going to name any names. I'm not going to say who it was, but I remember there was this one time I was at someone's house, and said person's house, and a lot of bad things had been happening to them. And I don't know how they figured this out, but they started digging around their tree. And when they dug up the tree at the bottom, close to where the roots are, there was a belt tied to
Damn.
to the tree. At the time, I didn't know what that meant. They were trying to explain it to me. It's a form of an amarre, but in this case, it was pretty much bad juju, is what it was. Going back to the story itself, for this witch, and I don't know. Whenever we get into witch stuff, especially because we have Jesse on the show now, it's different compared to before you guys were on the show, and it was kind of like brush. We would just be blasé about it, and how we felt about it, and the times that we were scared about witchcraft. But I feel like with Jesse on the show now, we have more insight on it, and we get more details and more understanding. So I want to thank Jesse for educating a lot of
Mm-hmm.
everybody on the show, and especially a lot of our audience. Um, Thank you. So to tie in more for Eunice, is it Eunice or Eunice? I don't.
Eunice.
Eunice. Yes.
Eunice. That's Eunice.
Eunice. Eunice.
You know what the crazy part
So
is? I looked up her right now, and I'm like, I was looking at her stuff. Even on
Mhm.
her, like, well, she has some stone, I guess, that is like her
okay.
proper resting place. I mean,
hmm
here, I can pop it up here.
Yeah. Go ahead and share it.
And she became
Um,
a local folk figure. So they probably have
yeah,
like a
like,
thing to.
Oh, okay. That stone's very intricate, by the way.
yeah, she
I know.
It's
What
became,
the
actually
heck?
it's actually beautiful. It's a beautiful stone.
yeah, and the crazy part is that, like, even on her thing, it says accused of witchcraft. Like,
Yeah, I think that headstone is probably the community
Yes.
realizing that they committed wrongdoing, and that's why they did that. Kind of redemption, I guess that you could say.
yeah,
Restored to citizenship in 1938.
well, here it is.
The society in Hampton Beach for the apprehension accused. Oh wow. Okay.
It's like so cliche. Like, why would they put that little witch in the vat? Like, so
I
horrible.
know.
It's so dumb.
It is cliche, but I think it's more of the times, I guess you could
Hmm.
say.
Yeah.
And even though this was so long ago, when this was in 1680 when I'm gonna say they well,
They
damn YouTube,
basically,
they unalived her, and
right. Yeah.
it was so long ago. But up until this point, I feel like it hasn't really changed much when it comes to the thought process behind witchcraft. And so, unfortunately, her life was taken. Then, because of the negative energy and the animosity that her spirit, and I'm sure her without a doubt, her spirit wasn't at rest, and it had definitely had unfinished business
Mm.
because of what happened to her. There were sightings of her ghosts near her homestead, in the area. So, and then there's also a belief that when like storms intensify in the area because it is the coast and a lot of crazy weather happens, her spirit becomes active, which is crazy to think because we're really like we're coming from a thought process of entities or spirits. They feed off of energy,
Right.
and I guess you could say storms are another form of energy,
Yes.
especially if it's a thunderstorm. Imagine that. So especially because the way she was unfortunately taken, that's now think of that. Okay, sit back and think of that shit. Okay, you're living in this area, you know the folklore, you know the lore behind Eunice Cole or Goody, and there's a thunderstorm. Now, what's your knee jerk reaction? Because you have to think whether she knows that you didn't do anything or you didn't. Maybe you had a relative that prosecuted her and ultimately led to her death. How would you react if you were in that predicament? Not being you, but a different person that lives in this area, knowing all of this, and there's a thunderstorm going on. I'm shitting my fucking pants because this lady's gonna show up anywhere. She's pissed out of her mind. I'd be pissed. I don't blame her. How would you guys react, and what would you do?
I'd drive to another state real quick. I ain't sticking around to find out. Hell no.
I feel like it's probably so small that they probably have like some type of urban legend like that. Okay, when it's
Right.
There's a thunderstorm that's gonna happen, you have to be in like by 6 o'clock or something, and you have to, you know, cover the damn year, God knows what.
I wonder if yeah. Now that you mentioned that, Jesse, I wonder if they have maybe like they assemble together and they pay tribute to her if there's a thunderstorm going on, and they congregate together and kind of apologize and try to amend what they did so long ago. I wonder if that's the case. Let's see.
I'm gonna do that.
Do you guys think it's possible that, I mean, obviously when that happened, right? When they unalived her, all that stuff, maybe some things happened where they're like, oh, it's her. Like, this is why, eventually, but obviously that becomes something that eventually today we don't know the roots of it, but we
True.
still do it just because, hey, you never know. What if it's true? And, you know,
Yeah.
so
I mean, it's the same concept with especially us because of the Mexican community, like La Llorona.
yeah.
It's the same thing. That's how you keep that tradition alive.
Right.
And I'm sure they're doing the same thing in this area. Buddy, what do you think? How would you react? And
I missed a lot of this. My internet kept going in and out. And when I came back to you guys talking about thunderstorms, I'm thinking we're having a thunderstorm right now in the valley.
Like there's a witch
But-
here.
There's
But I
Goody.
do. I don't.
Goody's
I didn't
here.
I
even
mean, the
know
good thing you're
what's
not
going
you're
on.
not near Newcastle, so there's that.
Wait, they are building a new castle right down the block here.
No, they're
No, I'm
not.
kidding.
He's like, they're making a White Castle. Down
it's a
the
White
street.
Castle. No, but I think
Uh-oh.
Gone. They don't
Uh-oh,
want to
there he goes
talk
again.
about it. That's wild.
So, with that knowledge that I let you guys, that I informed you of, as far as when it happened and that it happened before the Salem witch trials, do you guys feel like Newcastle kind of escaped the spotlight because Salem did blow up bigger?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of that stuff happens today, right? Like,
Yeah, I feel like that's what
unfortunately,
happens.
with like unalivements and schools and stuff like that, like there's always gonna be that one, whether it's the person thinking, they want to do something bigger, or it just happens that way. I mean, at the end of the day, everything just gets swept under, right? And then the next thing is up. So I don't think that what they did in Newcastle is less than what they did in Salem. It's equally as bad. It's not right, but
Yeah,
it's
it's
just
not right for sure.
a different magnitude at the time.
Yeah, I agree. What about you, Jess?
The same. I mean, I feel like it's just a different shit, but he's scared. I was like, oh my god. I don't think one was worse than the other, and I just think that they handled it, okay, that was a long time. That's part of their history. So it's still embraced as that.
Right. Right. But I feel like even when it comes to Hollywood, they still depict a lot of like witches and witchcraft as something negative.
Because that's the cliche. That's what's gonna scare you.
Yeah, that's what gets butts in seats,
Yeah.
pretty much.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the long noses,
And I'm
pointy
like, oh,
hats,
that's
and
nice
flying on
witch.
brooms.
And yes, that they're all ugly, and I'm like, why?
Yeah,
So-
definitely. So I asked you guys, how would you react when, while living there and there's a thunderstorm going on? Now I'm going to ask you guys this. This is going to be a little different, and because of the sensitivity behind what happened to Eunice Cole, but I would love to gauge exactly how you would go about it if you were living during this time and this was happening to you. If you were accused back then, how would you guys defend yourself?
How can
Damn.
you even defend yourself if
Yeah.
you're literally being outcast by the whole town? You're being targeted. I mean, if that was me and I was truly a witch, I would straight up be putting X's on everybody, like
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
making
but you
voodoo
can
dolls.
even when it comes to witchcraft, you can only do so much if you have
Yeah.
a whole
I
community
don't
coming.
think there's a way to defend yourself. I don't feel like she had a chance.
No, she for sure didn't have a chance. What about you?
I'd be dropping
bud?
all kinds of hexes. I'd be like, bibbity bobbity boo, screw you, you, and you. I don't know.
What about you, Oscar?
No,
Oh,
I'm
go
just
for
saying,
it,
I
go
don't know.
ahead.
That's what I do.
But
And
I mean, hey, yeah, it's true. Like Jess said, there's not much you can do. But I'm curious to see how Oscar, because Os comes at a different light because he is younger than we are. So it's always interesting to hear what he has to say.
so I don't think I can escape the town just because they'll probably tell surrounding towns, and that will kind of, so there's really no escape. Um but I think and I feel like this is why that stereotype comes, because they're so misunderstood that they're put in a position where they have to do things to get them back after they're gone. Because it's like, well, what can I do with my physical body right now? Nothing. So let me just leave them with some curse, because they pushed me to
Sure.
that point. Or if, I mean, who knows if she was or wasn't. If she wasn't, then they're not letting her rest. And like, now that I'm looking at it, like this whole like putting on her tombstone, and like if they do have like that legend of like, hey, this is what you do, I feel like that's kind of ridiculing her in a way, because they're kind of promoting like, hey, we unalive someone on accident, but we're gonna post it here so everybody knows we did it on accident. Like, I don't know, it's a
No, I
little
get it,
bit
yeah.
hypocritical in a way for me.
Yeah, it kind of teeters on respectful and disrespectful. I get what
Yeah.
you mean, for sure.
But yeah, I would just leave a huge curse on the land. Honestly.
For sure. Yeah, that's totally
And
fair.
all the generations of
Yeah.
people involved.
And I'm sure she did. So I hope you guys are ready for mine.
Oh gosh.
I'd alpha brain them all.
So this is how this is how I would defend myself. They changed my witch nickname to the Dick Witch. So this is why, okay? This is what I would do. I'd have a knife. Anybody that tried to so you come to there's going to be a conclusion. Either you completely buy into it and you're like, yes, I'm a witch and I'm going to unalive you. Or you're still trying to convince them that you're not, so that you don't get prosecuted and unalived. Me, I'm just viewing it as I'm going to get unalived anyway. So I'm going to go out with a bang. The reason why they're going to call me the Dick Witch is every dude, because it's going to be dudes that are coming after me. There's not going to be, back then in the 1600s, there's not going to be women and children coming
I want
after
to
me.
know where this is going.
There's going to be dudes coming after me with pitchforks or whatever weapons that they have for the time. I'm going to have a knife, 2 knives if I can, and I'm just chopping dicks off left and right if they get close to me. And that's going to be my legacy.
The question I have is, are they running at you like fully erect? Because like
No,
you're trying to like
like,
chop phallus here, and it's like, I don't know, a flaccid one is doing this while you got an
if
erect
there's
one.
a curse or a spell, if anybody knows of a curse or a spell that, or a love potion or an erectile
Potion number
dysfunction
9.
potion that can get someone hard, yes, and that I'll do said curse or craft. That way they're all hard running towards me, and I
This
just
sounds
Okay.
like a fantasy
Okay.
more than the.
I literally thought of this right now, like
Oh
right
my
now.
god!
This that answers my questions.
So that would be the plan. But if it doesn't work out and they're all, they're flaccid, I'm just trying to
You're gonna
stab
be
and
At that point,
handcuffed
I
and
think your
burned
best
by
bet
this
would be like a
point,
trident to like.
yeah, trident, like poke
Oh
holes.
my
Yeah,
god!
definitely. So that would be my defense.
So
If you
since
didn't
you'll be
expect I was
dragged
going,
since you'll be
what?
dragged out of your house with your hands, are you gonna be doing this with your teeth?
If I have to, yes, because I'm gonna die. I'm gonna be unalived anyway. It'll be on my Wikipedia page if that's the
Oh.
case. The last thing he did, he bit someone's dick off.
Someone's dick off while being tied and burnt at the stake. Oh my god!
So if you didn't expect my defense to go completely left or go from left field to right field, then welcome to the show. It's your first time here. They all knew something stupid was going to be said. Anyway, moving forward with Newcastle, because that's what we're here talking about, not just witchcraft. So obviously there was a fort there because it is on the coast, and this was during the 1700s, during the Civil War. That coast was used. It was pretty much on the edge of Newcastle stands, and it was built of granite and meant to guard the harbor. It saw activity during the Revolution and Civil War, so both. But long after the cannons fell silent, soldiers still marched there, meaning ghosts, which makes total sense. Believe it or not, visitors of this area report phantom footsteps, ghostly orders barked out, like during battle, out of nowhere, and the feeling that someone is always watching, which that's the case anywhere. Pretty much, I want to say something real quick. I think it's just concentrated when it comes to the paranormal. There's certain areas they're a little more active than others because of energies or how strong entities are. But I want to believe that there's just ghosts everywhere all the time, especially where there was populated areas. Now, if you're out in the desert or out in the forest and
There's
there's
still
not a lot of that.
ghosts. There's still ghosts.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yes.
Put,
Oh, that was
What?
just a note for later.
buddy. What do you say?
This was going to be the
okay.
writing on your tombstone.
Oh,
God.
After
my
they killed you as for
tombstone,
being a male witch.
She had a cool tombstone. Here lies
He
Sergio.
doth choketh all thy
Morlet.
brethren
He
foul.
doth choketh all
With
thy
thy old
brethren.
time bare hands.
Oh my
Though he
God.
died a witch, he lived as a jerk.
Perfect.
That'd be a cool tombstone. I think we should
We will
coin that
save
for
this.
later. So the paranormal activity that's reported by visitors, like I mentioned, is the footsteps, voices, shadows, your general run of the mill when it comes to paranormal activity. And it's concentrated more, like I just mentioned, in the battle sites where a lot of the unaliving was taking place. And obviously there's more hauntings in this area. I don't know. I would never want to. I may have, and I'm not aware of it, and I could have gotten an attachment before. But going to a fort or anywhere where there was a battle, these spirits have to be pissed that they lost their lives. So I'm sure they're just waiting for someone to come by and do something mean. I'm not gonna say evil, just mean, or attach themselves to people because they're upset of what happened to them in their past life. And have any of you ever gotten to any like battle site or or fort? I'm sure Buddy has because his family used to do a lot of traveling.
I haven't been to
I've
any of the
never.
big ones, like Gettysburg or nothing like that. But I did go to Fort Yuma. And actually, that was with my daughters and my
Oh.
wife. We went to go see the Yuma prison, and it's a fort up there and everything. And I mean, it's not that big, but there is a lot of energy there.
Ugh. Prisons, like old
Oh
prisons.
gosh, yeah.
No,
No, thank you.
I know we said we want to do in real life content, but I'm not. If we're doing a prison, I'm out.
Oh, we
You
have
guys-
to do a prison. Come on.
That Fort
what are you
Yuma would
talking
be pretty
about?
cool.
Yes.
What about you, Oscar?
I don't think I've ever been, besides like missions, like for
Oh, I
school,
love missions.
or yeah. I mean, I guess it's a training ground, right, on the way to San Diego. That's the only thing I've pretty much been near.
10,000 likes, and we'll send Oscar to a fort.
To the Alamo.
To the
Alamo.
Alamo. There you go.
Oh shit.
So I mean, like you guys just mentioned, I'm sure a lot of these concentrated forts during these times, they all have to be haunted, right? There's no chance that unless they're like pure. I don't even know if it would help if they were purified.
There's too much energy. There's too much like anxiety and pain and fear and
Anger, anguish.
anger.
Yeah, it's like a smorgasbord of like emotions in those places.
Yeah.
Yeah, like imagine they're getting unalived without even knowing. Like they just turn around, bah, that's it,
and it's over. And now they're just a ghost.
Yeah.
So with that being said, what Oscar said, perfect little segue into my goofy little question I have for you guys is
You can do the whole dance.
if you were a guard, yeah, a little goofy. If you had to guard a fort forever as a ghost and you lost your life, would you stay loyal to that fort, or you'd be like, I'm going to another fort, or would you just leave the fort? I don't think if you're a spirit, you're kind of tied there, right? You can't really leave. Or would you stay there and mess with tourists? And what would you do to mess with the tourists?
I would stay there and mess with everybody, honestly.
Me too. I would stay there.
Yeah.
I was already
Get away!
like,
I'm already here.
Yeah, they already
I mean,
like me.
whatever.
Like not to be fucking traveling. Like no.
So I was just to get
Stay there.
clear. I was the guard at that fort, and then I died there, or I unalived or whatever there, and I'm now still on guard there as a paranormal.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Well, for me, if that happened to me and I was guarding that fort, I'd want to know for sure, with my HR department, if I've got a good 401k and retirement plan going.
Oh my god.
No, I don't know. I think I'd.
But what
Yeah,
if
because
you're
you
a
have to
ghost?
figure that fort is now like a museum, right? So,
But what if you're a ghost guarding that fort and you don't know you're a ghost?
Yeah,
like
there
straight
you
up,
go. That's
like
a really good
residual
question.
So
energies.
you're like, what the fuck is going on?
I don't know. That'd be really cool though. But if I knew it, I would.
But what would you guys do to mess with with the tourists then? What would you guys do?
I would pull people's
Because all of you
toes.
said you would mess with tourists, but what would you do?
I would mess with their toes. I'd pull their hair. I'd freaking put things like in front of them while they're walking.
You know what's funny? I'm trying to imagine Jesse doing this, and Jesse doing this, and like in the background, like just like giggling at them.
You like that? Don't even make that face.
I know, but I have to make a silly one for the show.
Oh my god!
What about you, Os?
I would shoot my imaginary gun in the field.
Just gun sounds everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere, and then or like something like some weird,
Like
in their ear.
Sounds,
Yeah.
battlefield noise. Battlefield sounds.
He's like in their ears. Ay, me mataron.
Oh my god.
Chupapi muñeño.
What about you, buddy? With your 401k? What would you? How would you mess with the tourists?
They
Would
got
you
a good
invest in
401k, and a good retirement plan. Something to settle my future family. No, actually, I was just thinking of that too. I was like, I think I would go to the restrooms, and I would like line myself up in the mirror with these guests that are visiting, so that way our reflections like mix together. And as they're looking at themselves, like, what's wrong with me? I'd be
that'd
like,
cool.
I don't know. I'd want to jump scare people.
Like you did right now and you
Yep, just
scared
like that.
me.
I know. Oh yeah, that'd be haunting and funny at the same time. You being you being
Sergio,
a
if
ghost
you
and doing
walked
that.
in somewhere, you freaking saw something, a reflection, you would not be like, "Oh, this is funny."
No, okay.
Funny
Well,
for the
let
ghost.
me correct myself. Yeah, funny for the ghost is what I'm trying to say. If that happened to me and I went to go to a pisser and that happened to me, I'd be yelling. I'd be
You
screaming out
already
of there.
don't shower, and now you're not gonna pee.
No, I shower. I just don't shower with my eyes
He
closed.
showers like this. Look, he makes like a little awning right here,
Tape.
Yes.
and he keeps them open like
He
He
this.
puts tape. And we're gonna skip my answer because it's gonna be about phallic shapes, and you don't want to
We
hear
already
my
established
words.
they're all
know,
erect.
yeah. You know, something else I would do is I'll flush all the toilets when
Right.
they come inside.
Right.
Yeah,
Mess
that'd
with
be
the
funny.
plumbing.
Restrooms would be
funny.
perfect.
Mess with the plumbing. The restroom ghost. So, okay. So obviously the fort plays a big factor in it, but obviously because it's the coast, like any other coast, there's surrounding waters, and they happen to be dangerous. Newcastle has seen its fair share of shipwrecks. The souls of drowned sailors are said to haunt the rocky shore. Fishermen tell of hearing bells tolling from the sea, or phantom lanterns drifting across the. Hell no!
The sea just scares
Phantom
me in
lanterns?
general.
Yes,
No.
I hate the sea. I have silicophobia. I have a phobia of sharks. I will.
You're afraid of Silicon Valley?
Yes, I'm afraid of Google and all of those bigwigs.
Oh my god.
So they see the lanterns luring boats into peril. That's scary. Luring them into peril.
I mean, it's free labor.
That's wow.
Hey, that's true. Hey, we need a new deckhand. Let's get that guy and make him a
Get
ghost.
some ghosts.
And these spirits seem forever caught between sea and shore. Oh, that's unsettling to think of. As it is, I hate the ocean. You will rarely see me at a beach, period, nowadays. And
Yeah, I
have
feel
you guys
like
ever been to a shipwreck site or anything like that?
No.
I have, and it's very unsettling. It's scary. It's different seeing it on YouTube or on a documentary and seeing it for yourself, because people passed in that instance, and you're just there looking at their boat, like if it's.
you know what is that? Is that
I've
obsession?
never
I don't get it.
I don't get that obsession either. Wanting to look at shipwreck boats. But it wasn't like I made a point to be like, oh, let's go check out this shipwreck thing and let's make a trip of it. It would just happen to be that I was on vacation, and the area we were in, there was a boat there. Now, I didn't go on a boat to go look at the shipwreck itself because it scared the shit out of me, but I was in the area, and to think that that was there just kind of scared me a little bit.
Yeah, I just feel like water carries so much energy. It's just crazy.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
even if you're not going to visit a shipwreck, I feel like just like little times that we've done like cruises here for work or for whatever right here in San Diego, like it's just creepy. Like there's something so creepy about looking just into the water. It's like you don't know what's gonna come out.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like it's kind of like the unknown or the
Right.
vast, like forest, like deep forest. It's the same concept. You just don't know what's there, what's out there. And question for you guys. So I mentioned that the ghosts use lanterns to get fishermen to chase the light. And would you guys chase it if something was being offered to you, something that you like a lot? Now, I know you hindsight is
Gucci bag?
2020. You guys already know that it leads to something not good, but say for in Buddy's instance, it's I don't know.
Is it out of desperation? Like you're lost at sea and you see a light, so
Yes,
you have to follow it?
Exactly. Like you're at you're at the end of your rope. You don't have any water, no food. You're looking like a skeleton these days, and the lantern is offering you something up, and you have to follow it.
I,
Because you don't know what's going to happen if you get pulled by that lantern. You don't know what's going to happen when you go that way. But
I mean,
the
if I haven't
certainty
eaten
of
in
death.
days and I know like I'm already gonna die, I'm like, what is there more to lose? Just follow the light and see. Hopefully it gives me something to eat. Has iced coffee, you know?
Oh yes, Jesse. They have a Starbucks on their ship.
I mean, at this point I'm delirious. I could be envisioning a freaking Starbucks.
I don't know why, but it's just I equate to all of this like shipwreck stuff with pirates. So
because you're obsessed with pirates.
Yeah, I am. But I imagine, arg, we've got a Starbucks over here, Missy, and then Jesse's like, okay, I'll follow the light. I totally see that happening.
Oh my god! Wow.
What about you, Oscar?
Man. Honestly, like I've seen like lights out like this, like in a big lake, and when I'm camping.
Ooh.
Oh god, no.
Oh hell no.
And I'm just like walking, I see, I'm like, dude, who the heck is there? You know, like it's just
like where could it be coming from?
Yeah, and then
Oscar's like 10,000 likes, and I'll follow you into the lake.
Follow the light. Yeah. He's like, are you subscribed?
Yeah, no, dude. Honestly, like stuff like that. Like if it's a lot of effort, you know, get into the water, do all that stuff. But if I felt something like pulling me towards it, okay, I'll get kind of close.
Yeah, because you have a curious nature about you, right?
Yeah, like I want to find out what it is, like, you know, and if I can still see it from a distance and leave, then I'll do that. But who knows once I'm that close.
Now comes Buddy. Buddy, you always have to prepare for Buddy because it's either he's going to give a sincere, serious answer, or it's going to be completely the other side of it.
No, actually, I was thinking about this. I'm not afraid of the water. You know, like if I was in the open ocean and I'm talking, you look down and the water's not blue, it's like black down there. I wouldn't mind. I don't have a problem even thinking about jumping in. It doesn't bother me, but I think in the middle of the night, I'm out there floating. I would have to be on my last, like you were saying, your last leg of life. Like I'm gonna die. Either way, I'm not gonna make it out of this. And seeing a light out there, I think I'd go towards it, whether it was offering me something or not, because that right there to me is salvation. And by the time I get there and I find out, oh man, it's Davy Jones and he's about to keep me, I'm like, you know what? I was going that way anyway, you know, just away from the light. But yeah, I mean, that's
Buddy's like, let me join your crew.
There be hot bean juice on this boat. That's coffee, by the way. Yeah, no, I think I would go towards the light if I was at my last limb. If I was totally healthy, I've only been in the water for a couple hours and it's dark and there's a lantern out there, I'd keep my distance and be like, why are they out here? And I'd probably try and stay away. But yeah, like you were saying earlier, like you're not gonna make it. What have I got to lose? I'm not gonna make it anyway.
True. That is true. Well, thank you for all of your answers. Me, I don't know why I would be in the middle of the ocean to begin with because of my fear of the ocean. But if I was in that situation, hell yeah, sign me up. Sign me up to the crew. I'm ready to go. Just give me some rum and I'm ready to go. Give me a hat, a tasteful hat. No piercings. I don't like piercings. I've got the tattoos already, so I'm
you're getting a nipple piercing.
But I would do it. No,
He took it out a long time ago.
I took mine out a couple years ago.
Jeez.
Dang.
Okay, so let's before we wrap things up with Newcastle, because this is, I really hope JD comes across this video and really sees that we dove a little deeper into the area that inspired his stories. And what I want to wrap it up with is the energy within itself. We're always talking about energy on this show and what it brings to the table as far as the paranormal goes, and it's definitely the number one conduit when it comes to creating manifestations of ghosts or what have you. So ultimately, what makes Newcastle so haunted? Maybe it's the sheer density of the history, the unfortunate end of Eunice Cole with her witch trials, the war, shipwrecks, old money, tragedy, which there's a lot of that everywhere, or maybe it's the isolation of the island life, which is very typical, and that happens not necessarily just with islands. You could say small towns like Calexico, California, where we grew up, and any other small towns, they're kind of like on an island of their own, just no water surrounding it. And we're talking in terms of paranormal. And in Newcastle's case, the sea surrounds the whole island, and whispers are carried through the wind. Whatever it is, Newcastle feels like a place where the past refuses to stay buried. And I think it ties into what Jesse said because of the power elements of water when it comes to the paranormal, or the the energies itself. Do you guys feel like the mix of the tragic history, the isolation, proved to be a fertile ground of paranormal for Newcastle itself?
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
It has to be. There's
Has to
too
be,
much
right?
going on.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's like generations and generations of just crap, of negativity, of anger, of people dying, of people, of just everything.
Yeah.
Right. And I think something that kind of feeds into that energy as well is the magnification of superstition. Growing up in a small town like some of us, and I guess you could say where you grew up as well, Osk. Even in big metropolitan areas, there are some levels of superstition, especially if you have relatives that aren't second, third generation where you're from. There are some families that were first generation in that specific area, but they could be from Mexico or any other neighboring states or cities where it was a small town. And I feel like in smaller communities, superstition is a little more prevalent compared to um, a developed city life, and people don't really ponder that much on superstition. Because do you guys feel the same, Jesse and Buddy, that people in Calexico, and I really feel this as well, back then, I don't know about now, but there was people had certain superstitions about different things within the town.
Oh, there's
Yeah.
a ton of it. There's superstitions. There's rituals. There's just things that everybody will do at the same time on the same day, the same. There's
Oh
definitely
yeah, for
a
sure.
ton of that, and still,
Yeah. And I think it's more,
it's
I think,
generational.
yeah, generational. I think also it's going to be more prevalent in these small towns because, say, somewhere like Los Angeles, you don't know the next person that's two houses over. It's like the town is so many
Or
people.
on top of you, because
Yeah,
everybody's like
like
top.
yeah, you
On
don't know
top
your
of each other.
neighbors, you don't anything like that. But in a small town, it's like you don't want to be the center of gossip. So if somebody says you should do this,
because they'll know
yeah.
the next
So
day.
So
They'll
like,
know the
if
next
somebody
day.
says this has to happen, everybody jumps on and it's like, well, we have to do that, or we have to believe that. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, just not wanting to be no quieres vergüenza. You're like, I'll just
Yes,
follow
I
what
remember
everybody
all
else is
that.
doing no matter what. Whereas in a big town or a big city like LA, somebody says, I'm not into that, and they walk away from it. It's like, well, who was that guy? Nobody knows.
Yeah,
Mhm.
for sure. And for you, Osk, like your parents, I'm assuming they're from small. Are they from a big city in Mexico, or are they from smaller towns?
So my mom is from like a small ranch outside of Morelia. Oh no, Monterrey. She's from Magdalena, somewhere out there, Michoacan area type of
Mhm.
thing. My dad is from the city, so I kind of have like both. Because
Oh, okay. That
what you guys are
definitely.
explaining right now is exactly like what my mom would say, like back in
See,
the,
makes sense.
you
Makes
know,
big. There you go.
everybody knows everything. Everybody, like they know that you're, because in her place they get married, I think like at 15 or 16 or something like that.
Yeah,
So everyone's already like, oh, like who's she gonna marry? Who's she, like stuff like that.
yeah, for sure.
So
No, yeah, it makes total sense. So it makes sense that why this place would be so haunted, and the the abundance of sheer energy from everything surrounding it. So I get it, and I get it why JD earlier um, pretty much asked us to look into it, and if we would want to go and do an investigation there, that we should. So it makes sense ultimately why. I mean, we asked JD definitely if all of this inspired his work. To a certain degree, it did. The way he outlined it, and I feel like because I've yet to hear a paranormal, or I should say horror or thriller or suspense writer coming out of Calexico, which there should be because there's a lot of wacky stuff that's happening over there. But JD did tell me that all of my stories, I should move forward and write a manuscript of all the stories and turn it into a
10
book.
likes.
10 likes and I'll write the book.
Yeah, this needs to happen now.
So we kind of like pulled, and he kind of pushed me a little further into deciding that I want to make those stories into a book, and I think it is ultimately going to happen. Um, I just need sources because my memory is not the greatest anymore. I need like Buddy and our friends that were there to that witnessed this, and if obviously Jessica keeps me in line with all my nonsense. Like you can't put that there. You can't put that joke. It doesn't work. Um, so just getting the right sources and putting it together, I think would be perfect. Um, and ultimately, all of this is just to thank JD Barker for exposing us to this crazy area, which is Newcastle. And I don't know. I've been to coastal towns that they're deemed haunted. Have you guys ever been to a coastal town that's been deemed haunted?
I don't know if they're deemed haunted, but I've been to like Santa Barbara.
Yeah.
I feel like that one kind of is. Coronado Island, which is right
Oh,
off,
Coronado. It
right?
is. Coronado is. Yeah, for sure.
Um,
We got to make that an episode one day.
Catanila
Coronado
Island
Island.
also.
Okay.
Um, yeah, those are I think the only ones I've been to. I do feel like what has happened here that I don't know when I'm at these
Yeah.
places or like these coasts or like these certain areas. And I'm sure there is something that happened that
So you're all
nobody
going to
knows.
take a plane to San Diego, to my place, and then we're going to
Just
go to
like I
Coronado.
just bought everybody tickets. We're all going to go to
We're all going to go to
Coronado.
Coronado.
I'll go from Catalina Island all the way down to SD. There's a boat, so I'll do that.
Sergio's not gonna like the
Okay.
Oh,
bridge over
that's true.
Coronado.
I
Oh, I
Oh,
hate that
hell,
bridge. I
Coronado
hell
close my
no.
eyes
Bridge.
when I
I
drive
love
over that
that.
You
bridge.
close your
Hell
eyes when you
no.
drive over.
So
Not me. Well, like my husband's driving.
How am I doing, guys? We're already
You
ghosts. We're already
guys, there
dead.
is a trolley that'll take you on the bridge. It goes on the freeway. I did not know that the little trolley goes on the freeway. It's a one from
Hell
Old
no.
Town,
Take
but
like
we
2
have to
hours
take
just to
it.
get over there.
No, we have to take it.
I'm down.
Okay, that's fair.
I'm gonna be in
So-
SD November 15th through 18th.
Oh, okay.
Oh, because they also have a haunted tours here downtown
Ooh,
Yeah, you would
dope.
like it.
I wanna do
in
that.
Old Town. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the Whaley House. Don't get me started on the Whaley House. That's a totally
All
different
right,
story.
I'm getting you a ticket, Sergio. You too, buddy. I'm gonna go pick
Okay.
you up.
So, okay, speaking about Buddy, okay, this needs to be answered now on the show.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, say we're gonna have to get Buddy like a jetpack or something for
That's fine.
his wheelchair. Because
It's
what
okay.
if we're on these investigations on location and something crazy happens? You know, we see a ghost or there's an entity, and we all
I'm jumping on
obviously-
Buddy's chair. I'm jumping on Buddy's chair. And I'm
yeah,
flooring it.
it's either we put some rockets on Buddy's chair and we all just ride off into the distance away from the entity, or the fucked up part is we all run and we leave Buddy there, and Buddy's just like just trying to get out of this is
Nah,
Don't worry, buddy. I'll push you. These assholes are gonna.
Nah.
I'll stay,
You know
what? We would
I'll stay
push
there
him.
and
If
fight,
y'all-
bro.
if
I'm gonna
y'all-
fight whoever's there while you guys push them or
If
something.
y'all run away,
Okay,
I am
you can
totally
fight.
fine.
I'll run.
I will put my little hands together and say, Santa Maria los frijoles apachurrados. And, you know,
Oh my
from
god.
there, we just kind of move along. No, if you guys want to run, it's okay. I'll follow. I may not.
He's like, I'll run over
figure
you
it out.
guys. I'll
It may not
trample
look
you
like
guys.
it, but I'm pretty quick in that
imagine
wheel.
we're just running and
Yeah.
you just
I'm pretty. I'm
I'll
pretty
block
quick
the
in that
door.
wheelchair.
Okay. At least you answered the question for me. Now I
I'll
feel
be
a
all
little
right.
more comfortable about going out and investigating. Okay. So, just to close things out for tonight's episode. So, if you, our audience, if you ever find yourself in Portsmouth, which is where Newcastle's at, out there, you could Google map it real quick. I'm sure a lot of you have if you're not familiar with the area. Take the bridge across to Newcastle and let us know about your experience. Maybe you've already been there. Maybe you live there. That'd be awesome if you do and you come across our episode. Leave something in the comments. We would love to hear it from you. But remember, whether it's a witch curse, phantom soldiers, or souls of lost sailors, Newcastle isn't just history. It's alive with ghosts. So just be cautious if you do decide to go out there. And but we want you to be cautious, but also with a lot of information so that you can tell us about it. And overall, it's awesome that we had a conversation with JD Barker, who's a very prominent author, and it was definitely an experience to have a conversation with him, and I would not be opposed to having it again with him sometime in the future. And we invite you guys to honestly share your ghost stories and Newcastle experiences. Like I said, if you've been there before, or if you're aware of JD Barker's work, we would love to hear your own experiences with it and what those books mean to you. Because if you saw our past episode, we asked some questions that were outside of asking about his book, but more of what inspires him and everything surrounding that, which I felt like was a little more engaging for us because we got to know JD Barker himself, not just through his work, but him as a human being that writes these novels. And we want to thank everybody that does leave a comment about it. Do you guys have any last thoughts for our dude crew out there?
Buy our merch.
Just remember, if you ever want to accuse Sergio of being a witch, do not chase him while erect.
Mhm.
Jeez. Oh my god. Oscar?
Nah, just appreciate the support. Everybody watching, everybody tuning in, and sharing it with people. Right? We don't know that. We think
Yeah.
I'm sure there's people that share with others, and yeah, excited for all the new shows that are we're all going to be doing, and maybe some in real life stuff very soon.
Yeah. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I hope you guys are having fun on our channel. We have a couple. We have some content coming out aside from the pod very soon. That's going to be tasteful, cheesy, and funny. And I think you guys will appreciate it, especially if you like the 80s or 90s. Just a quick little tease for next week's episode. Hope you guys come back because we are going to be interviewing a paranormal investigator. And I'm not going to say his name now, but it's going to be loads of fun. And it's our first time having a paranormal investigator on the show. Can't wait for it to happen. And I hope you guys stay tuned. Visit paranormaldudes.com, become a member there. Join the newsletter list. That way you get specific drops on merch and anything that we're doing as a community all together. Eventually, we want to have a discussion board where you guys can all communicate together. Yes, we also have a Discord. The Discord is in our links. You could join the Discord. It's dead right now, but as soon as you guys are talking in there, all of us are linked into the Discord, and you can have discussions with us in real time.
It's dead. Like the Dead Inside t-shirt you can buy at paranormaldudes.com/merch.
It is dead. It's dead inside, like myself. Cop your t-shirt today. Cop your t-shirt today. I honestly want that t-shirt really bad. All right. Well, I want to thank everybody for joining tonight's show. Hope you guys enjoyed it. You would like, subscribe, and comment if you're on YouTube. If you're not and you're on a different platform, that's fine too. Thank you for listening. We appreciate it. Hope you guys come back for more. Binge all of our other episodes. We have a bunch out already. We want to thank you guys and hope you have a wonderful, I don't even know when they would be watching it. A wonderful time. Let's say that. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Later, dudes.
Boom.